Hi everyone, my name is Dévi and this is Book Connoisseur. Wow! So, you might notice a little bit of change of scenery here. My family has moved to a new house. We're finally in our new house. It's been a long time coming and I'm very happy to be here. So bear with me as I try to find my recording spot where I get some good lighting. The lighting's a little dark, but we're gonna work with it. So I'm ready to review the Women's Prize for Fiction 2024. I have some of it here with me, and a lot of it I have on audio from the library or on my Kindle. But yeah, I thought we would just talk through it. A couple of them are not available in the US, and as a reminder, this is a UK-based prize, so some of the books are already out in the UK, but not in the US. And I will touch on those as I go. And I am glancing down at my notes on my computer, which is why I'm looking over here. The first book is A Trace of Sun by Pam Williams. And this is the one book that I could not find a publishing date in the US, which means it probably, sorry, that's my dog. It probably won't be available here for a while. And that's Clover, can you get down? Go. Anyway, so I don't know when I'm going to get my hands on this or if I ever will. It's from a small independent publisher, which is why it hasn't been published here yet. So this book is about a son who's left behind in Granada as his mother pursues a better life for them in England. They are reunited, but they're not the people they were after 7 years apart. I do think this is really it's interesting to have some Caribbean fiction on here. I think that's really exciting. And the fact that I've never heard about this book, and from what I've seen on other people's videos, a lot of people haven't heard about this book before it came out on the long list. So that's exciting. The next book is Ordinary Human Failings by Megan Nolan. And this is obviously available in the US. I got this from my library. This book is about a family from Ireland living in England, and a little girl is found dead, and all fingers are pointing at this Irish family. If you're participating in the Irish Readathon, this is by an Irish author. The next book is Hangman by Maya Binyam, and I have this for available on my Kindle ebook, so it's available in the US. And this is about a man who returns home to sub-Saharan Africa after a quarter of a decade in the US, it's a long time, in search of his dying brother. And somehow when he gets there, everyone knows who he is and he doesn't know who anyone is. Yeah, this sounds really interesting. It's pretty short. I think it's under 200 pages. So I think this would be a great book to pick up if you aren't interested in reading the whole list or just want some of the shorter novels. Yeah. The next book is Soldier's Sailor by Claire Kilroy. And this is actually, I ordered this from the UK because this book is not available in the US until June. And the reason I ordered it was because this was the book I'm most excited about on this whole list. This is about a mother and son relationship and becoming a mother, motherhood, and mother rediscovering herself postpartum after having her son. In the book, the mom is the soldier and the son is sailor. I've already started this one and I can already tell it's gonna be really special to me. I cannot wait to talk about it when I'm finished, but I'm trying not to give away any spoilers because I have read a few of these already. Yeah, so I'll talk about that in a later video, but I'm really excited about this one. And also, Claire Kilroy is Irish as well, so this would make a good book to read in March for the Irish Readathon. The next book is The Wren by Anne Enright. I'm mostly going back and forth between a mother and daughter and the mother's absent father, who is a famous Irish poet. I thought this was a really interesting premise, and I have already read it because Anne Enright is an Irish author as well. So I read it for the Irish Readathon, and I will talk about it in my March wrap-up. The next book I also ordered, I don't have it in front of me, I don't know where I put it, but it's The Maiden by Kate Foster. And this book is about a Scottish woman in 1679 who is accused of killing her lover. And basically the story is like, what is she really on trial for? Do people actually think she killed him, or is she on trial for having an affair? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about how they don't like the cover. I'm gonna post it right here. And it's funny because I feel like this classic historical fiction cover is something that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to read that. Yeah, it's not special in any way, but it indicates to me that this is like historical fiction and I might like it. Yeah, so I'm excited to read that as well. The next book is The 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster by Mirine Lee, a family saga telling the story of a centurion, which is really interesting. And it is based on the life of the author's great aunt, who's one of the oldest women to escape North Korea, which I think is really cool. So it's a fictionalized story of a real person. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I might pick that up soon. The next book is Night Bloom by Peace Adzo Mehdi. And I have this for Hold On Audio from my library, so it's out already. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice Clover's over here. So the premise of Night Bloom is it's about two cousins who are inseparable in Ghana, and they grow apart as they get older, and one moves away, one stays where they are, and then they reconnect for some reason later in life, and it's about that reconnection. The next book is In Defense of the Act by Effie Black, I believe. Yes. So this book is about ending one's own life, and I think this is the shortest book on this list. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's almost like funny, like it's supposed to be humorous. I don't know. I'll let you know when I read it. I got it from my library. It just recently came out in the US. Yeah, I think this would make a good companion novel to Intervals by Marianne Brooker, which is on the Women's Prize for Nonfiction Longlist. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of overlap, which is cool. So I might be tandem reading things and maybe update you guys that way. Yeah. The next book is Western Lane by Chetna Maru, and this is about a girl and her father who turned to squash after the death of her mother. And this book might sound familiar to you because it was also on the Booker shortlist for 2023, which is pretty cool. This is also super short. I got it on audio and it's only 4 hours long. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be reading that one soon. The next book is Restless Salamander by Kate Grenville. Kate Grenville is an Australian author, and this is about a woman making a life she can call her own in 19th century New South Wales. This cover is sort of similar to The Maiden by Kate Foster, and it's also historical fiction. Yeah, I've never read a historical fiction that takes place in Australia. Anyway, wow, look at these end pages. So pretty. yeah, I'm reading this for my book club with Lauren and the Books, and I'm excited to read this in April. The next book is River East, River West by Aubrey Lescure, and this is a dual narrative between a 14-year-old Chinese-American girl in Shanghai in 2007 and her soon-to-be stepfather in 1985, Qingdao, China. Yeah, I've heard this is amazing. I'm super excited to read this, and yeah, it sounds really compelling, and I think it's interesting to tell the story of a relationship between a stepdaughter and stepfather. The next book is Brotherless Night by Vivi Ganeshanathan. This is a story of a 16-year-old girl in Jaffa, Sri Lanka, as the violence of the 3-decade civil war escalates. This was also on another shortlisted for another prize. I will list the name of that prize. I can't remember it right now off the top of my head, but yeah, so it's getting a lot of attention and I'm excited to read it. I've never read anything about the Sri Lankan Civil War. I'm not sure if they touch on the Sri Lankan Civil War at all in there's one of the books from the Women's Prize for Nonfiction Longlist is about South Asian history during the 20th century. I'll put the cover right here, but yeah, that could be an interesting tandem read as well. The next book is Enter Ghost by Isabella Hamad, and this I have gotten on audio from my library, but honestly I might purchase this book because I'm really interested in reading it and potentially owning it. This book is about actress Sonia Nasir, who returns to her homeland in Palestine after living in London, and she ends up working on a production of Hamlet in the West Bank. As you probably know and are very aware, there is a genocide going on in Palestine currently, and the Women's Prize for Fiction has historically not made any political stances with their choices, so it's really exciting to see that they're using their platform to raise awareness and take a stance about this humanitarian crisis. Yeah, and I think that's really important to have on this list this year. The next book is The Blue Beautiful World by Karen Lord. And this book is sci-fi, which is really cool. I do not love sci-fi, but I'm going to read this book. We'll see. I guess maybe I'll change my mind. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. But this book is about, basically, as the climate crisis is continuing on Earth, there's another civilization observing Earth and getting ready to make its first contact with humans. I like that premise. I like that it's political, the stance it takes. So yeah, I'm planning to read that book. The last book is And Then She Fell by Alicia Elliott. And I have this on hold on audio from my library. And this is the story of an Indigenous woman writing a retelling of a Haudenosaunee creation story in order to save her daughter's life. And I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. I'm not entirely sure how to say this. This book is Canadian. It's written by an Indigenous Canadian author. And that's also very exciting to see. The authors this year are very diverse. I mean, it's funny how there's like 3 Irish authors, but that's exciting for me because I'm participating in the Irish Readathon, so I just added those to my March TBR. But yeah, and that is the whole list. I'm going to read as many of these as I possibly can before the shortlist is announced. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Let me know, are you planning to read any of these books, and I'll go back to you with a new video soon. Bye!